Welcome back to another episode of the MRP Easy Manufacturing Podcast. In today's episode, we'll look at the top warehouse KPIs for small businesses, helping you get a better idea of what to track and why. Warehouse KPIs, or key performance indicators, are metrics used to gauge the efficiency of various stockroom processes. Manufacturers, distributors, and retailers use them to track things like how fast incoming materials find their place on the shelves, how well the warehouse space is being utilized, and what the shrinkage rate is from handling. Measuring and tracking efficiency is as essential in warehouse management as it is in supply chain and inventory management. The warehouse is the physical storage hub for inventory, and its performance directly impacts order fulfillment, customer satisfaction, and operating costs. Monitoring warehouse KPIs enables managers to track the performance of stocking processes, detect any issues and bottlenecks, and set benchmarks for continuous improvement. There are many ways to measure warehouse performance. Since physical inventory can tie up the majority of a business's cash, analyzing financial statements is a helpful way to understand cost efficiency and capital utilization. Performance reviews and regular employee evaluations can help you gain insights into labor productivity and identify training needs. And KPIs provide a clear, quantifiable way to benchmark warehouse operations against targets and industry standards. The importance of tracking warehouse efficiency. Tracking warehouse efficiency is about generating valuable insights that contribute to a well-functioning business. The quality of warehouse practices directly impacts customer satisfaction as delays in receiving, missed picks, or misplaced pallets drag down OTIF, on time and in full scores, and add to order lead times. KPIs turn friction points into measurable data so managers can target improvements to drive accuracy rates and build smoother fulfillment processes. These metrics are also vital for aligning warehouse activities with overall business goals. Warehousing is both a cost center and a service hub. Measuring efficiency enables uncovering cost savings while also maintaining the speed and accuracy that customers expect. A warehouse that's fast but error-prone isn't efficient, nor is one that's precise but painfully slow. Tracking efficiency builds a foundation for continuous improvement. Warehouses are dynamic environments where product lines, order volumes, and adopted technologies shift constantly. Without consistent measurement, it's hard to justify new investments or process changes. KPIs create a feedback loop, offering ongoing insights and trends into crucial data like order lead times, vendor performance, and the quality of the fulfillment process. We've grouped our picks for the best warehouse KPIs into sections based on the most relevant warehouse management processes. The first group is receiving and shipping metrics. Receiving and shipping metrics monitor how efficiently goods are received into the warehouse and shipped out to customers. They highlight how quickly items become available and how effectively outbound processes are handled. Receiving efficiency is a metric that tracks the stockroom workers' efficiency in receiving goods. It's calculated by dividing the number of packages received by the total time it took the receiving team. The higher the score, the better the efficiency. Receiving speed depends on many factors, like order size or dock congestion, so a lower score of this KPI usually indicates a need for analysis into the causes. It can also provide essential insight for warehouses that routinely receive lots of similar orders. Receiving accuracy is a KPI that tracks the quality of the receiving process. It determines how often the right items, in the right quantities and condition, are received and recorded correctly into the system, compared to the total received or expected items. It's a great way to address receiving issues early on and prevent downstream issues like stock discrepancies or picking errors. Cost of receiving is a cost efficiency metric that tracks the costs incurred with receiving, including warehouse overheads, equipment costs for forklifts and scanners, and labor. Tracking it provides steady data on whether your inbound process is eating up too many resources, considering the volume of goods handled. It relies on knowing your total receiving cost, which needs to be first estimated by allocating a part of the warehouse overheads, equipment, and consumables expenses, and the receiving team's labor costs. Receiving cycle time is a metric that tracks the time it takes to complete the receiving process per item. It's a great way to gauge the dock's reception capacity. High values can indicate congestion, bottlenecks in receiving processes like labeling or put-away inefficiencies. Loading efficiency is an outbound traffic KPI that measures how efficiently shipments are loaded onto transport. Whether trucks are going out half empty or tightly packed makes a big difference in transport costs and also helps improve sustainability. Next are put-away metrics. Put-away KPIs focus on how quickly and accurately items are transferred from receiving areas into their proper storage locations. When goods arrive but are left on pallets and aisles for hours, that's poor put-away performance. Efficient put-away processes mean goods are stored promptly and correctly, making them available for picking with minimal delays. Put-away cycle time is a KPI that measures the time it takes to move items from the receiving area to their designated storage locations. The shorter the cycle, the faster goods become available for picking and order fulfillment. Finally, put-away accuracy gauges whether items are stored correctly in their assigned locations. If goods are put in the wrong location, it can lead to picking errors and lost time later on. High put-away accuracy helps to ensure that inventory records match physical reality and support smooth operations. The next group we'll look at is picking metrics. Picking is front and center in warehouse management. Picking efficiency plays a direct role in order accuracy and affects order fulfillment lead times, thus impacting customer satisfaction. Tracking picking-related KPIs can give you insight into how efficiently and accurately items are picked from storage to fulfill orders. Picking is the bridge between put-away and shipping. Like with receiving, mistakes here can ripple downstream, leading to delays or even returns. Order picking accuracy measures how often the right items, in the right quantities, are picked from storage to fulfill orders, compared to the total items that were picked. Grabbing the wrong SKU leads to wasted labor, later returns, and unhappy customers. Picking accuracy directly ties into the perfect order rate KPI that we'll look at later. Picking cost is a metric that looks at the total cost of the picking process, including labor, equipment, and overheads, divided by the number of picked orders. Think of the wages for pickers, the cost of barcode scanners or other picking equipment, and even parts of warehouse overhead. Understanding picking cost helps managers find ways to optimize the process. Finally, picking speed measures how quickly pickers can locate and retrieve items. It's one of the most important metrics for gauging warehouse efficiency and providing insights for optimizing the warehouse layout. However, picking speed must be balanced with picking accuracy because fast picking with many errors is counterproductive, much worse than high accuracy but slow performance. Now let's look at procurement and order management metrics. These are metrics used to track how well purchases and orders are managed from the warehouse perspective, from ensuring inventory records match reality to measuring the speed and accuracy of customer order fulfillment. While these KPIs are highly relevant also for supply chain and inventory management, they directly tie into warehouse efficiency as well. Inventory accuracy shows how well the records in your system match the actual stock in the warehouse. Imagine your warehouse management system saying you have 500 units in stock, but only 480 are physically on the shelf. That's an accuracy gap. Low accuracy corresponds with stockout risk, leads to production or fulfillment issues, and informs the need for tightening your stock-taking practices. Order cycle time is a KPI that measures the average time it takes to fulfill an order from the moment it's placed until it's shipped. If an order is received at 9 a.m. and it leaves the warehouse at 3 p.m., that's a 6-hour cycle time. It's a crucial metric that correlates directly with customer satisfaction. The shorter the cycle, the faster customers get their products. Perfect order rate. This metric looks at the percentage of orders delivered without issues. A perfect order is the correct items, in the correct quantities, delivered on time and undamaged. It's a holistic KPI relevant to many departments because it reflects performance across receiving, storage, picking, and shipping. Back order rate. This KPI measures the percentage of customer orders that cannot be filled immediately from available stock and are delayed until items are replenished. When customers place an order, but stock isn't immediately available, the order can be designated as available on back order, able to be ordered, but not shipped until replenishment arrives. Tracking this KPI helps warehouses and supply chain teams spot recurring shortages, improve demand forecasting, and adjust their safety stock policies. In this sense, backorder rate is not just about service level, but also how well the warehouse supports overall inventory planning. Next are storage metrics. Storage KPIs reveal how effectively your warehouse uses space and preserves the value of stored goods. Think of them as indicators for whether your racks are turning product quickly or if inventory is sitting idle and tying up capital. They also help uncover hidden costs like shrinkage and carrying costs, which directly impact profitability. Inventory turnover measures how many times inventory is sold and replaced during a given period. Inventory turnover rate is one of the most important inventory management KPIs, but it also provides insight into storage by showing whether products move quickly through the warehouse or sit idle, tying up space and cash. A high turnover rate indicates efficient use of space and healthy throughput, while a low rate can highlight overstocking or slow-moving goods. Shrinkage rate refers to inventory loss due to theft, damage, misplacement, or administrative errors. It's calculated by subtracting the physical inventory count from recorded inventory levels. For example, if records show 1,000 units, but a physical count reveals only 990, that difference of 10 units is shrinkage. High shrinkage increases costs and undermines trust in inventory data. Since inventory is a critical financial asset, scrutinizing each case is paramount. Tracking shrinkage helps warehouses tighten security, improve handling, and maintain accurate records. Carrying cost of inventory is a KPI that tracks the total cost of holding inventory in storage, including capital costs, warehousing expenses, insurance, depreciation, and obsolescence. The longer goods sit idle, the more it costs to keep them there, not to mention the rising obsolescence risk. While predominantly a financial and inventory KPI, understanding carrying costs is also important from a warehouse management perspective, since storage practices directly impact operating costs, space efficiency, and even service levels. Space utilization is a simple KPI that measures how much of the warehouse space is being used. For example, if a warehouse has the capacity for 10,000 pallet positions, but only 7,000 are used, that's 70% utilization. Too low means you're paying extra for holding costs, whereas too high can indicate incoming congestion issues. Next, we'll look at labor metrics. Labor KPIs highlight how effectively the workforce is being used in warehouse operations. Since people are central to receiving, picking, put away, and shipping, tracking labor metrics gives insights into labor productivity, training, and well-being. These KPIs reveal, among other things, whether the warehouse team is being utilized efficiently and whether enough investment is made in developing their skills. First is labor utilization. This tracks how effectively available labor hours are being used in warehouse activities. It shows the balance between underutilization, which leads to idle staff, and overutilization, which increases the risk of burnout for employees. Monitoring labor utilization helps managers allocate staff to the right tasks and shift resources when bottlenecks appear. A closely related metric is labor productivity, which returns the ratio between picking or receiving output and the labor inputs required for the tasks. Another important metric is overtime costs, which tracks the additional labor expense incurred when employees work beyond their standard hours. While occasional overtime can help cover seasonal peaks or unexpected demand, consistently high rates often indicate understaffing, poor planning, or process inefficiencies. Monitoring this metric helps managers balance labor availability, control costs, and gauge worker fatigue. Employee training time measures the average hours invested in training per employee. Warehouses with complex SOPs, automation, or frequent process changes rely heavily on training. Monitoring this KPI ensures the workforce can adapt to new tools and maintain high accuracy in receiving, picking, and shipping. Well-trained employees are the surest way to reduce errors and improve overall warehouse efficiency. Employee retention is a KPI that shows how well the warehouse retains its workforce over time. High turnover leads to constant hiring and training costs, while also disrupting operations. Tracking retention highlights whether employees are satisfied, adequately compensated, and engaged. Strong retention supports stability and preserves operational know-how. Finally, absenteeism rate tracks the percentage of scheduled workdays lost to unplanned absences, also providing a strong indication of employee satisfaction. A high absenteeism rate can signal low morale, poor working conditions, or burnout. Monitoring absenteeism helps warehouse managers spot workforce issues early and ensures that sufficient staff are available to keep operations flowing. And lastly, let's look at safety metrics. Safety metrics track the well-being of warehouse staff and the effectiveness of safety protocols. Warehouses are high-risk environments with heavy equipment, moving vehicles, and manual handling. Monitoring these metrics is a prerequisite for protecting employees, but it also helps boost operational efficiency as it offers insight that helps managers remain proactive in preventing downtime, reducing accident-related costs, and ensuring compliance with workplace regulations. Accidents per year is a KPI that measures the total number of workplace accidents reported in a year. It gives managers a straightforward view of the warehouse's safety performance and highlights whether interventions are reducing the frequency of incidents. Tracking accident trends over time helps to identify recurring hazards and evaluate the effectiveness of safety initiatives. Time lost due to injury is a KPI that measures the total hours or days employees are unable to work due to workplace injuries. It goes beyond counting accidents and quantifies their operational impact. Tracking lost time helps managers understand how safety issues affect labor availability, productivity, and costs. Total Recordable Incident Rate, TRIR, is a standardized metric that reflects the number of recordable incidents per 200,000 hours worked, which corresponds to 100 employees working full-time for 1 year. It allows warehouses to benchmark their safety performance against industry standards. A lower TRIR indicates better safety practices, fewer disruptions, and less exposure to legal or compensation costs. Picking the right KPIs to track. While it may be tempting, tracking every possible metric can quickly overwhelm managers and dilute focus. The real value of KPI tracking comes from choosing the ones most relevant to your business model, order volumes, and customer expectations. For example, a make-to-order manufacturer might prioritize order cycle time and picking accuracy. A high-volume distributor may focus more on dock-to-stock time and space utilization. A practical approach is to start with a small set of KPIs that align with your current strategic goals and then expand as needed. Each metric should answer a specific question about efficiency, cost savings, accuracy rates, or lead times. If a metric does not directly influence decisions or performance, it's probably not worth tracking over the long term. Implementation works best when KPIs are monitored consistently and integrated into day-to-day operations. That means setting clear definitions, collecting reliable data, and reviewing results regularly with your team. Modern warehouse management systems can be a huge help here, automating real-time data collection, reducing human error, and providing dashboards that turn numbers into data-driven decisions. That wraps up this episode of the MRP Easy podcast. Thanks for tuning in. For more information, go to mrpeasy.com. See you next time.